Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I am here with a solo episode. And if you heard me talking on social media this past weekend, you know that I alluded to what this conversation was going to be about. And it's really one that everything that I share on here, I feel like it's the right time to share. But this particular topic, I really feel called to speak on because whether you're a teacher or not, whether you're going through similar types of feelings or not, I think at some point or another, we all feel like we need to take a step back, right? To get back to basics, to, go back to square one with our health and wellness. And so that is what we're going to be talking about today. I am going to give you just kind of a little sneak peek into what prompted this for me. And then I'm going to share with you what I'm doing. If you want to, follow the same type of path, you can. But what I am doing, what I would suggest doing if you feel like, you don't want to go from zero to hero, but you want to make manageable steps towards, increasing your health and wellness, then, you could follow a similar path to what I'm doing. So let's start by first and foremost me just sharing that probably over the past year, I have really been struggling with being consistent with my movement, being consistent with my nutrition. Um, and that has been because of just life circumstances. And so, we all go through those types of things. I this summer have gotten to this point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to push it and say in another month, I'll get quote unquote back to what I used to do. Or in another month I'll, incorporate X, Y, and Z things. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna look at where I'm at as my baseline and slowly increase from there. So, the past, I would say that the last 6 months of the school year, maybe even longer than that, I was not consistently moving my body just because I had no energy to do that. Um, and that is something that's atypical for me because if you know me, like especially now in the summer, every day I'm moving my body. It might just be walking, it might be the elliptical, it might be resistance training, it might be a whole variety of things, but I am always moving my body. That's because I know that that does so much good for the body in so many different ways, but it also makes me feel good, like mindset wise and body wise. So, like physically wise. So, um, when I think about in the last, I'd say 9 months or so, the fact that I've have changed in that I have been able now in the past 2 months, uh, been able to consistently work out, or move my body. That's been great, but I'm still missing this nutrition piece. And I used to be so good at, making sure that I wasn't eating gluten and dairy because those are things that trigger my body, to be more inflamed. And I also was, um, really prioritizing making meals at home, ensuring that I was getting those whole foods, right? And currently, I am not eating as much fruits and veggies. I'm getting a decent amount of protein, but I'm not getting as much fruit and veggies in my daily consumption as I'd like. Um, and I'm still not very hungry because I am still processing through a lot of stress, um, from, I'd say, the last 12 months. And that with medications that I'm taking do not necessarily support a voracious appetite, if you will. So uh, it has been hard for me to eat the way that I want to. I've, not had the desire or the motivation or the energy to create meals at home like I used to. I will, but not to the extent that I had in the past. And so, all of this kind of has created this um, decision within myself that, or has allowed me to make this decision within myself to really start focusing on more of the nutrition piece for myself, because I can tell in my body, especially my face, I can tell that I am inflamed, right? That I've got a lot of inflammation. Um, and I look at pictures of myself now compared to, a couple years ago when my inflammation was way more under control. And I'm just like, yeah, I can tell, right? Um, that is, side tangent, one of the things that I would have never realized or would have never picked up on, or at least maybe not as quickly as I do now, had I not gone through nutrition school and become a certified holistic nutritionist. So, all that to say, I have decided that I'm going to go back to basics and I'm going to start focusing on really ensuring that I'm getting what I need to in my body each and every day. So instead of having, 5 different things that I'm tracking throughout the day to make sure, did I do this? Did I do this? X, Y, and Z things. I am just starting with one thing. And so I created tonight, I re-uploaded on my phone an app called, let's see here, called Habit Share. Um, so I will show you here on the screen. It is, I don't know if I can point to it. Yeah, it's this one here. If you're watching on YouTube, Habit Share. Um, and it's free. I used it before for accountability purposes with those that were holding me accountable in the past. And right now I don't have anyone on there to hold me accountable. I don't really want that. Maybe down the road I will, but what's really nice about it is you can put however many, things you want to track. I just want one right now, and you can track that, right? So for the foreseeable future, the next several weeks, my goal is to be consistent at getting 4 combined fruits and veggies in my body every day. And, right now I'm not being super specific in that, like, it has to be every single day. Would I like it to be every single day? Yes, but if I can, you know, get that the majority of the week, like if I can do it 4 out of 7 days, or 5 or 6 or even 7 days out of 7, that will be great. My goal is higher than 3. If I can do that more than 3 days in the week, that will be deemed for me a success. If I don't meet it, I'm not going to, be frustrated with myself. It's, making progress towards an ultimately healthier me, right? And so any progress is good progress, in my eyes, the way that I see it. And I hope that that's the way that, you can approach your health and wellness too. Um, and so, yeah, I'm going to be tracking on this app, for the foreseeable future. Once I feel that I have, quote unquote, mastered that and I'm doing a really great job with that, I will add something new in. But I feel very, um, I feel very good about just doing one habit right now, because there's so many other things going on in the day to day for me in my life now. Plus, in the next couple of weeks, getting ready to go back to school, there's going to be so much going on that I know that doing more than one habit is not going to be sustainable. And I want this to be sustainable, right? So, all this to say, if you are feeling, if you're a teacher like me, if you're not a teacher but you resonate with feeling like, at one point you were doing really awesome for your health and wellness, and then, life got a hold of you and, caused you not to be able to do some of the things that you had typically done to support your health and wellness, and you want to get back to doing those things, there's no shame in starting incrementally and just, focusing on one thing at a time and just building back up to it. Could I potentially down the road, decide to add in 2 habits once I feel really good and, maybe once I'm back into the swing of things at school? Sure. But am I going to fixate on, how many habits can I stack back into my routine? No, because that's not the phase of life that I'm in. And I don't think I'll ever be back in that phase. I don't know that I ever was necessarily in that phase, but I just feel like I have evolved and grown so much as a woman, as a human being, as an adult, um, and that it's not for me about the metrics. It's about the sustainability. It's about my overall quality of life. It's about being able to be here for the ones that I love. It's about being able to enjoy my life on a daily basis. And I know that I've been extremely tired um, for the past year, if I'm being quite honest, just extremely fatigued. And a lot of that has been related to my nutrition. And so I am excited. Right here, I apparently is too, because he's trying to steal the spotlight. I'm excited to get back into, more of a routine. I'm excited to start with just, one habit at a time and getting myself back to a state where I feel really good in my body. So all this to say, if you want to jump on board and start doing that too, awesome. I say go for it. Um, if you have any questions, if you want to chat with me about this topic or any other topics, you know how to reach me. There is now a really awesome feature that you can text me through the show notes. So there's a link right up at the top of the show notes that you can send me a message. So if you want to send me one there, if you want to send me one on social media and chat about this too, my doors are always open. So I would love for you to come chat with me about, what you hope to start doing again for yourself to support your health and wellness. And yeah, all that to say too, this leads into next weekend. We're going to have an incredible virtual women's health and wellness summit that I'm hosting. And I think this is the perfect time. Who knew that I was going to feel like this was something I needed to do for myself right here, right now, as we're getting ready to host this event. I think it's just perfect timing. It's divine timing. It was, meant to happen this way. And I'm just excited to hear from all these incredible speakers who I'm blessed to call my friends that are going to be speaking and sharing at the event, the 2-day virtual event, because I know that I need to hear what they're about to say. And I know that it's going to support me on my journey to getting back to where I want to be health and wellness wise. And we all can live a happy and healthy life. It's whether or not we choose to prioritize what we know is going to help us to get there. So that is that short and sweet episode today, but I hope that it serves you in the way that, it's meant to serve. And again, if you have any questions, any thoughts on this topic, if you want to know the app that I use, I will drop it in the show notes. It's a completely free app. And yeah, that's that. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic, incredible week. And I will be bringing you a truly incredible episode next week with one of my dear, dear friends. So stay tuned for that and take care. We'll chat next week. Bye.